All right, Algebra 1, still kind of talking about ratios here, just in a different way. Here in 2A.2, we have constants of proportionality. So that's kind of what we saw earlier in today. Y over X, similar to a ratio, rise over run. We have a table here of the points 9, -3, -6, 2, -15, and 5. And if we want to find the constant of proportionality, we're just going to take the y over the x and simplify. So I'm just picking a random point here, -6, 2. Let's write the y on top and the x on bottom. So we have 2 over -6, the y over the x. Well, what goes into 2? 1 and 2 go into 2. What goes into 6 or -6? 1, 2, 3, and 6 all factor into -6. And what we mean by that is for the 2, we could take 1 times 2 or 2 times 1 equals 2. For the 6, we have 1 times 6, 6 times 1, 2 times 3, 3 times 2. Those are just factors of numbers. So out of all these, what do these lists have in common? What's the biggest number they have in common? 2. So let's factor out a 2. So how many times does 2 go into 2? Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 2 goes into 2 one time. And what's -6 divided by 2? -3. So we've simplified it all the way down, but in math, we like to write the positive on top. So our constant of proportionality is -1 over 3. Here in our second example, we have two graphs over here in the red and in the black. These points are going up. We would say this is a positive slope or a positive constant of proportionality. So if we took all these points and we found their constant of proportionality, it would be a positive number. And kind of the opposite over here, this graph is going down from left to right, so it has a negative slope. It's a negative constant of proportionality. In our last example here, we want to simplify a ratio. We have the ratio 15 to 25, or you might see it as a fraction 15 over 25, right? Same kind of thing, we're just simplifying. So what goes into 15? Well, I could take 1 times 15 or 15 times 1, 3 times 5 or 5 times 3. These are all factors of 15. These go into 15. Let's do the same thing with 25. 1 times 25 and 5 times 5, but we don't need to write it twice. What's the biggest number that these two lists have in common? Well, they both have 1 in common, but they also both have 5 in common. So let's use the greatest factor, the greatest common factor, and let's divide. 15 divided by 5 is 3 because 5 goes into 15 3 times, and then 5 goes into 25 5 times. So let's write our ratio 3 to 5. We just simplified right here, took 5 out, and now we have 3 to 5. Let me know if you have questions.